Bonjour. Je vais prendre quelques minutes juste pour souhaiter une bonne retraite au commissaire Lucki. Il faut dire que le GRC fait face à plusieurs défis. On n'a pas vu énormément de mouvements pendant la période où il s'occupait du poste. On espère bien, parce que c'est extrêmement important que le gouvernement fédéral va choisir quelqu'un qui peut vraiment confronter les défis dont le GRC fait face. On a parlé du racisme au sein du GRC. C'est quelque chose qui doit être traité, qui doit être résolu. On a parlé aussi, bien sûr, de la transparence autour du GRC. Ça aussi, c'est un élément que le prochain commissaire doit faire face. Et aussi, quand on parle de l'interaction entre le GRC et les peuples autochtones, et on regarde, par exemple, le niveau très élevé d'incarcération des personnes autochtones, c'est quelque chose autour duquel aussi le prochain commissaire doit faire face. Alors, le soin avec lequel le gouvernement fédéral prend le prochain commissaire va être extrêmement important. We wanted to wish a happy retirement to Commissioner Lucki. As of March 17th, she will be taking her retirement. It is clear, though, over the period of her tenure at the RCMP that there are a number of issues that were not dealt with, the challenges that the RCMP faces that have an impact on Canadian society. And the federal government needs to take good care to ensure that the next commissioner that steps up deals with these issues of systemic racism that have been raised around the RCMP. The accountability and the transparency of the RCMP to the Canadian public is something that the next commissioner must deal with. And we have seen, most egregiously, a number of incidences with Indigenous people, a high rate of incarceration among Indigenous peoples. These are issues as well that the next commissioner of the RCMP must deal with. These are issues that have not been dealt with in an adequate way. And we're certainly hoping that the federal government takes care to ensure that the next commissioner deals with these issues and that the RCMP finally starts finding solutions to these problems.
Whose failure is it that these issues are still outstanding?
I think it's fair to say that it hasn't been dealt with. The leadership within the RCMP has not dealt with these issues. I think forward-looking, it's vitally important that the federal government choose somebody who is going to show the leadership to actually resolve these fundamental issues. And it is something that is extremely important not only to the RCMP, but also to the Canadian public. I live in represent a community, the community of Burnaby, that actually has local RCMP officers that have shown terrific dedication. In British Columbia, of course, the RCMP also functions as the provincial police force, and we have the RCMP as a federal police force as well. We have to modernize policing techniques. I think there are more than enough examples that show how important that is. And in my community that I represent, in Burnaby, the issues of modernizing the RCMP and dealing with these issues adequately are fundamentally important, not only locally, but also provincially and nationally.
Monsieur Julian, le rapport de la Commission Rouleau va sortir bientôt. Voyez-vous un lien avec l'annonce de la retraite de Mme Lucki aujourd'hui et le rapport qui va sortir bientôt, sachant comment elle a témoigné durant le session?
Mais je ne peux pas spéculer sur le contenu qui est dans le rapport Rouleau. Je pense en regardant le rapport Rouleau, ce sera au bon journaliste de voir s'il voit un lien, oui ou non. Mais pour moi, pour l'instant, qu'est-ce qu'on veut attendre et voir, c'est le rapport.
Que pensez-vous du leadership de Brenda Lucki à la tête de la GRC durant les 5 dernières années?
Mais je peux constater qu'il y a plusieurs défis qui n'ont pas été résolus. Et je constate que le prochain commissaire doit faire face à ces défis-là que je viens d'énumérer. C'est extrêmement important qu'on a un gouvernement fédéral qui choisit quelqu'un qui va s'occuper de ce poste si important et qui va faire face à ces défis.
Vous ne pensez pas qu'il y a un lien entre son témoignage à la Commission, les critiques qu'elle a reçues? et sa retraite alors que son mandat n'est pas encore terminé.
Mais ça, encore une fois, ce serait un lien que d'autres pourraient regarder, surtout suite au rapport. On va voir dans les prochains jours, bien sûr.
You said RCMP leadership. Are you saying Brenda Lucki didn't have the political will to tackle these issues, or was she facing resistance from within the force?
I'm saying that the next commissioner has to deal with these issues, that these issues have not been responded to in the size and scale that is needed, and it is vitally important to Canadians that the RCMP deal with these issues and that the next commissioner takes them on.
Should the next commissioner come from within the Mounties or from outside?
I think the important issue here is having a federal government choosing somebody who has the skills and the ability to take on these issues. These are considerable issues. These aren't issues that are small. They are extraordinarily important. And in the context as well of modernizing policing, we have more calls for a different approach at policing, particularly when it comes to mental health crises. There have been a number of tragedies that we're all aware of. Policing needs to be modernized, needs to change, needs to ensure the safety of individuals, whether they're going through a mental health crisis or other challenges, making sure that their safety and security is respected, as well as the public, as well as police officers. It's a tall order, but the next commissioner is going to have to tackle that.
Should that commissioner be from an equity-seeking group or a minority group of some sort? Would that help?
I think the important thing is that that person have the skill set to tackle these issues. Thank you. Merci beaucoup. Merci.
Has it been confirmed?
Yeah. So what is your multiple news outlets, and it's an internal RCMP memo that's laying out her retirement, her message to staff, saying she is retired.
Okay, I haven't seen that yet. I mean, I knew Brenda back in policing days. We went on courses together. I think she was well intended, and unfortunately became probably overly yanked around by public safety, by the minister, and by this government, and that's unfortunate. I wish her well in retirement, and I thank her for her service. All right, thanks.